Hello everyone, welcome to today's session on phonemes, particularly the consonants. So we deal with the RP consonants in this class, and regarding consonant and its description we'll make two videos. So this will be the first video and the next one will be coming after this. So what is consonant and what is its difference from the vowels as far as phonetics is concerned? From the articulatory point of view, consonants are those sounds, those smallest units of sounds during the production of which there is either partial or complete closure in the oral cavity or oral passage. So unlike the vowels, during the production of the vowel, जब आप vowel को pronounce करते हो तो कहीं पर भी उस खास किस्म का कोई abstraction नहीं होता है. But consonant जब आप pronounce करते हो तो there is a partial or full abstraction when the air is coming out. The term consonant has been taken from Greek. The root goes to Greek. The word is consonantum. In RP, in English RP, there are total 24 consonant sounds. I'm talking about the phonemes. Total consonant phonemes 24. I'm not talking about the alphabet. The alphabet may be 26, but consonant total phoneme sounds are 24. And let's see the symbols. As is recognized by IPA, these are the symbols of the consonant sounds. P as in pan, B as in ball, and remember all the phoneme sounds should be within the vertical. I told you earlier as well. Ta, table, dog, doll, caw, cow, g, gun, cha, chain, j, judge, ma, man, na, new, nga, sing, ha, hear, la, love, ra, rat, wa, woman, ya, you, fa, fan, va, van, th, thanks, the, there, sa, see, z, zoo, sh, she, ja, leisure. So these are the symbols that you have to learn how to write and how to pronounce all those symbols. The example use in words as an example has been given beside. So you can see here again: pa, va, ta, da, ka, ga, cha, ja, ma, na, nga, ha, la, ra, wa, ya, fa, va, tha, the, sa, za, sha, ja. Now, how the consonant sounds are classified. How do you describe a consonant sound? To describe a consonant sound, we have some criterions. And these are the criterions for describing consonant sound. First, the air stream mechanism, the flow of the air. And the air stream mechanism of all the RP sounds, RP phonemes, are pulmonic egressive. I told you earlier as well, pulmonic egressive, since the air comes out of the lungs. And then the second description of each of the consonant comes regarding the position of the glottis. Inside the vocal cord, what is the position of the glottis? If the vocal cords are open and the sound comes out without vibration, then these are called voiceless consonants. And if it is narrowed down and the voice and there is voicing in the glottis, then these consonants will be called voiced consonants. Then we also see the position of the velum. What is the position of the velum? In case of the nasal sounds, the velum closes keeps open, the nasal passage keeps open by coming down. But in case of oral sounds, the velum goes to close, shut the nasal passage so that the air only comes through the, flows through the mouth or mouth passage. Then the most important classification criteria is the place of articulation. Where exactly the abstraction is taking place when you pronounce a particular consonant. For example, when you pronounce P, you see it is happening in the lips. Both the lips are closing. So the name will be according to the place where the abstraction takes place. Then the manner of articulation is the another most important criteria to describe each of the consonant sounds. Manner means how the air comes, the nature, the manner of the air flow during the production of a particular consonant sound. So we'll talk about it later on in detail. And the nature of the airstream mechanism already I said in the first point, so it is repeated here. Actually there are 5 criteria. So now let's talk about the place of articulation. Now what we mean by place of articulation? I told you there are active and passive articulators within our articulatory system. So they take part and accordingly they are named. Active articulators are normally the lower teeth, the lower lip, and the tongue. They are active because during the production of each of the consonant sound, they take the most active role. They reach to the passive articulators for the production. For example, when you say ta, see the tongue, tip of the tongue is actually reaching to the teeth ridge, and teeth ridge is static there. So teeth ridge is the passive articulator, and tongue, tip of the tongue is the active articulator naturally. So these are the most normally these are the active articulators: lower teeth, lower lip, and the tongue. And the passive articulators are mostly in the upper part, upper lip, upper teeth, and part of the roof, and teeth ridge, hard palate or soft palate, or the pharynx. These are normally the passive articulators. And I told you each of the consonant is named as far as place of articulation is concerned. They are named according to the point of contact where the articulators are coming in contact. If it is in the lips, they will be named accordingly. If the contact is taking place in the teeth ridge, they will be named accordingly. Now, first category of the place of articulation is bilabial consonants. These are the bilabial consonants. Place of articulation is bilabial. Pa, ba, ma, bo. Bilabial because 2 lips are coming in contact against each other. So these consonants are place of articulation wise named as bilabial according to their organ of production. Then we have labiodental. Labiodental consonants are fa and va. These 2 consonants are unique for many of we Indian students because this is almost absent in most of Indian languages. Fa and va. Fa, during the production of the fa, lower lip goes against the upper teeth, and the passage is narrowed down, but it is kept open, and there is friction sound. So it is the lower lip and upper teeth comes in contact. So accordingly named labio means lips, and dental the upper teeth. So labiodental, fa and va. Dental sounds, tha and the. These are the dental sounds. Again, these sounds are hardly available in Indian languages. So we have to practice a bit to be fluent in the pronunciation of these sounds. Tha and the. Tha and the in the production, during the production of these sounds, actually the tip of the tongue goes to contact against the tip of the tongue goes to contact against the upper teeth. Tha and the. Tha and the. So since the teeth is playing the vital role here, upper teeth, so they are named after the teeth called dental consonant sounds. Alveolar. During the production of the alveolar sounds, tip and blade of the tongue goes against the teeth ridge, just behind the upper teeth. That part is called teeth ridge or alveolar ridge. They are called alveolar ridge. And since the alveolar ridge is the passive articulator, these consonant sounds are named after alveolar, and they are called as alveolar consonant sounds. They are ta, da, na, la, ra, sa and za. So all these sounds are alveolar consonant sounds. Since the the tip of the tongue goes against the alveolar ridge. Post-alveolar. Ra is the sound which is post-alveolar in English, RP. Ra. Because during the production of ra, tip of the tongue goes to touch against the position just post the alveolar, teeth ridge. After the teeth ridge, that portion, the tongue goes to touch that portion. So accordingly it is named post-alveolar. Not exactly alveolar, but post, after that. Post-alveolar. Then we have the retroflex. Again, raw, mostly in American pronunciation, raw is pronounced as raw, car. The tongue is actually folded. Tongue is curled back to contact the teeth ridge, or back of the teeth ridge, you can say. Back of the teeth ridge, the tongue folded to touch that. So it is called retroflex. The retroflexing is there. Then we have palato-alveolar. Palato-alveolar sounds are cha, ja, sha, ja. These are palato-alveolar because the entire portion, front and mid part of the tongue, the tip, blade and front of the tongue, most part of the tongue goes against the entire upper palate. Upper palate starting from the teeth ridge, back of the teeth, it starts from there and goes to the entire hard palate. So that's why it is called palato-alveolar. Entire palate it covers from alveolar position. So they are called palato-alveolar. The tongue, the most part of the tongue actually reaches that part. So they are called cha, ja, sha, ja as palato-alveolar. Palatal. Y sound is the palatal. This is not J, remember. I'm not talking about the alphabets. This is phoneme and it is pronounced as y. It is called palatal because the hard palate is the most important part it is playing. The tongue does not touch, but it reaches the hard palate from the back to front. A quick movement is there. So it is a semi-vowel, ear. And since the palate, again, tongue and palate, they are playing a role. Palate is the entire palate is the passive articulator, and I told you most of the consonants are named after the passive articulator. So it is called palatal. Then we have velar. Velar is you can say the soft palate part, soft palate. If we talk about the palate, soft palate, the back of the palate, the tongue, back of the tongue goes against the velar. Velar means, I told you, the soft palate, and that's why these sounds are called velar. After velar it is named. That part is called velar. Ka, ga, nga. Then we have glottal. Glottal because ha, this is glottal sound. Ha is entirely pronounced here in the glottis, here in the glottis, within the glottal. So it is named as glottal. So place of articulation wise, these are the description and these are the names. I told you already how many places of articulation are there. Bilabial sounds, labiodental, dental, alveolar, Postalveolar, retroflex, palatoalveolar, palatal-velar, glottal. Now, another most important criteria of articulation, criteria of description of the consonant sounds is manner of articulation. How the ear is coming out. How the ear is coming out and how much obstruction it is getting. Is it partial obstruction? Or is it full obstruction? Or how the obstruction is made? So according to the manner of the obstruction, they are named. The names are given like that. So this criteria is called manner of articulation. The first type of manner of articulation is plosive sound. Plosive. Plosive, the sound has come from the word, you can say, explosion. How explosions are taken place. The air compression is there, then there is a sudden release and the blast is there, boom. So these sounds are like that. These are plosive sound. Explosion is there. During the pronunciation of these sounds mentioned below, p, b, t, d, k, g, these 6 are the plosive consonant sounds. During the production of these sounds, you see what is the manner of obstruction. Air is coming out from the lungs and the obstruction is made either in the lips or in the teeth ridge or in the back of the hard palate or soft palate, by the back of the tongue, and they are totally blocked by these 2 articulators, totally blocked, and air is compressed. And then when sufficient air is there, then there is a sudden release, not slow release but sudden release. So the explosion sound is there. That's why these are called plosive sounds. For example, say air comes and it is closed by the lips and then sudden release. Pa, ba, ta, da, ka, ga. So every time there is some kind of plosive, explosion. Ear is blocked, then sudden release. So they are called plosive sounds. Then we have affricate sounds. Affricate sounds are very similar to the plosive sounds. Here also 2 articulators, they block the passage, air is compressed. They block the passage, air is compressed, but not sudden release. At the time of plosive sound there is sudden release, but here not sudden release but slow release. Not sudden but slow release. Air is compressed, no doubt, but slow release. For example, cha. See, air is blocked. Then slow release, cha. Teeth reach to the hard palate, the tongue, front of the tongue, tip of the tongue, they goes and block each other. Then cha. So full block, air compressed, slow release, and they are called affricates. Cha, ja. Then we have nasal sounds. Nasal sounds are those sounds during the production of which the air simultaneously comes through the nose. Nasal passage. The velum or the soft palate comes down so that the nasal passage is open and the air continuously comes out through nasal passage. They are called nasal sounds. Ma, na, nga. Then we have lateral sounds. Lateral sounds are those sounds. La is the lateral sound. La, during the production of la, see, tip of the tongue is touching the teeth ridge. Though it is blocking the teeth ridge, but side of the teeth, blade of the teeth is open. So air is coming simultaneously to the blades, but the tip is blocked. So they are called lateral sounds. Fricative sounds. The maximum sounds in English RP are fricative sounds. Fricative word has come from the word friction. The sounds that produce friction are called fricative sounds. During the production of the fricative sound, 2 articulators come against each other very close. They narrow the passage, but they don't block. They simply narrow very close, and the air passes through that passage, narrow passage. When the air is passing through that narrow passage, there is friction sound because the passage is too narrow for the air to come smoothly. So there is friction sound. So they are called fricative sounds. For example, sha, ja, sa, za, fa, va, tha, the, ha. During the production of these sounds, both the articulators, active and passive, they are coming very close to each other, and the air comes in between them, through them, with friction sounds. Then we have frictionless continuant. Ra is called frictionless continuant because the two articulators, they don't block it fully. They come and make a quick movement so that the air does not block totally, or there is neither any friction, but the movement is very quick. Ra. So it is called frictionless continuant. Then we have semi-vowel, ya and wa. These two are semi-vowel. Semi-vowel means they look like or pronounce like vowel, but they are not vowel. Because to be a vowel, it must be able to be the nucleus of a syllable. But they are unable to be the nucleus of a syllable because of its quickness of the movement. Ya, wa. They are so quickly, they make a glide that they are almost like a consonant, and though the full abstraction is not there, or partial abstraction also not there, but they are neither vowel, though consonant characteristics is very less in them, but neither they are vowel because of its quickness of the movement, and they are unable to form the nucleus of syllables. So ya and wo are the semi-vowels. So these are the description of the consonant sounds in English Abhi. Hope you understood this, and after this we will come with the description of each of the consonant sounds in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.